LA Knight's ascent in 2023 is a testament to his perseverance, considering everything he's had to go through to get to the moment. That he is in 2025. Now, the WWE star, he's faced significant obstacles early in his career, including the need to shed a widely unpopular and just outright horrific gimmick in the Max Dupree character to achieve the level of success that he's had just a few years later. Now, Knight, well, he experienced a huge surge in popularity, becoming one of WWE's top stars in late 2023 and into 2024. During this period, he teamed up with the likes of John Cena at Fastlane twice, and he even challenged Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Facing Reigns, who held the title for a historic 1,316 days, well, that's no small feat. Now, Knight acknowledges that not every wrestler emerges from a feud with the Bloodline in a stronger position than they went into it, including him. Now, look, LA Knight, in a recent interview with Shaq Wrestling, who does a bang-up job, by the way, revealed that his feud with Roman Reigns, despite its high-profile and timely manner, well, it hurt his WWE career trajectory. He specifically cited his undisputed WWE Universal Championship match at Crown Jewel 2023, where he was unsuccessful, as a turning point that slowed his momentum down, which is something I've been very critical of in recent times. That's what he had to say. I think it did a little bit of all that. It took me in a few different directions. I think it optically and in a way elevated me. I think optically in a way it kind of set me back a little bit, and I had to do a little bit of a rebuild back in the winter and springtime of last year. I think that's just a virtue of the way that it was all set up and the way it was done. But ultimately, Crown Jewel was a nice payoff. So that was pretty good. That's what he had to say. Now, despite working a Fatal 4-Way Championship match at the 2024 Royal Rumble, also involving, I think it was Randy Orton and Roman Reigns and one other, Kevin Owens. Despite that, Knight was in the Andre Memorial Battle Royale on SmackDown leading up to WrestleMania 40. And, WrestleMania 39, he worked AJ Styles at WrestleMania 40. You get what I'm saying? This made him out to be a situation in which I think you have to look at it like this. Like, if you want to go back. So, WrestleMania 38 wasn't on the card. WrestleMania 39 wasn't on the card. WrestleMania 40, he was. Okay? I think you look at the way that WWE booked this guy. Yeah, he had a little bit of an irritation regarding it, right? So, LA Knight, he scored a victory over United States champion Logan Paul at SummerSlam 2023. It was a feel-good moment for longtime fans of LA Knight. It secured his first main roster title at the age of 41. Now, his title reign didn't meet expectations, leaving many with the impression that WWE should have capitalized on his momentum earlier. Think about it. He defended the title in open challenges. He defended the title against Andrade. He defended the title against Carmelo Hayes. He ran it back in a triple threat at Crown Jewel 2024, beating both guys before losing it at Survivor Series War Games to Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, LA Knight, he recently regained the U.S. Championship from Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's off in a much better place. Take it back with me one time, y'all, to this. When LA Knight started getting over, well, why did he start getting over? Okay, so he did the feud with Bray Wyatt in January of 2023, right? He misses out on WrestleMania. And around this time, if he would do a segment, if he did a match on television, if he was just mentioned, what would happen? He would get a huge ovation from the fans. And WWE was like, oh, okay. And so he got their attention. So what do? They started booking him on television. So they would put him in segments. They would put him in backstage segments in front of the crowd, sometimes in matches, and he would start getting really over. And so WWE is like, well, okay, let's do something with this guy, and that's what they did. Obviously, he teams with John Cena. He does the feud with The Miz. All good stuff. And he's really starting to build things up. And then they put him with Roman. And at the time, I was very critical of this because it's like, we all know, and I even agree, LA Knight's not beating Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, especially since we are so close. We were about 6 months or so away from WrestleMania. And we know that Cody Rhodes is going to beat Roman for the title. Like, that's what they want to do. That's what they're going to do. You might as well just go with it, right? And so you book him in this, and you don't even protect him, right? Like, there was outside interference, but he still got beat. It was unnecessary, I felt like, at the time, because he was so hot at the time. He had such momentum at the time that I was like, okay, well, why not, since Cody's going to beat Roman for the title at WrestleMania 40, why not just have LA Knight win the title, the world title? Have him beat Seth Rollins for the world title, have him win Royal Rumble, right? You give this guy a huge shot in the arm, and you're off to the races. And they didn't. And so they booked the Crown Jewel match, and I could see some people saying, well, you needed a worthy contender for Roman. You needed a realistic challenger for Roman. Why not make it happen? And I go, okay. And then you look at it and you go, how do you follow up on this? Well, you have him go up against Roman and 2 other stars in a Fatal 4-Way at the Royal Rumble. So you have him lose back-to-back PLE matches. And it's like, ugh, what are we doing? He gets screwed over at the Elimination Chamber that year. And then he goes into the feud with AJ. And then they just go like a Ricochet type roller coaster journey with this guy. It really was confusing the way that they did everything. It was very interesting that they did what they did with this guy. I think if you're LA Knight fans, you have to also realize, look, there's always going to be critics of LA Knight. There's always going to be people who say, well, he talks like The Rock, or he acts like Steve Austin, or he has mannerisms like Steve Austin. He just steals from everyone. And it's like, well, he can't really help the way that he talks. So you want him to do a fake accent? Is that what we're doing? It also didn't help around the beginning of 2024 and obviously going into WrestleMania that The Rock was back. He was back on television. He was back doing promos. And look, as good as LA Knight is on the mic, he's not as good as The Rock. And when you sound like The Rock and people think that you're imitating The Rock and The Rock is on television, well, that even hurts you further. So yes, did the loss to Roman Reigns impact LA Knight? Yes. Did it set him back? Yes. But I also think the return of The Rock also did not do him any favors at all. And I think if you're going to talk about this, if you're going to give contents to this, you absolutely have to bring up those 2 names. You have to bring up the fact that LA Knight had a lot of adversity to go through, that LA Knight had a lot of challenges to go through. He had a lot of creative, sometimes good, sometimes bad, that, that's the way that it went down. But at the